Welcome back to this week's gaming news recap. We have a lot on our plate this week. We've had some huge announcements starting with Star Wars Celebration. We got some Jedi Fallen Order news. We got some Call of Duty controversy. We got some Fall Guys, just a little bit of mix of everything. It's been a while, but we're glad to be back up with a regular schedule for you on the horizon. If you're looking for a good place for gaming news, this is the place to go every week. At the end of every week, we will have a recap for you of everything that you need to know about gaming. If you like this kind of content and you like the content by the end of the video, let me know down in the comments below. Do the usual YouTube things. If you hate this content, if I'm annoying, if I breathe too much, let me know how horrible I sound down in the comments down below. Please, just harass me down there. Light me up. Thank you guys for the support. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Let's jump into the news. Call of Duty Season 3 launched this week for Warzone 2. Despite many creators expressing excitement at the list of changes, which included numerous improvements in quality of life changes to the DMZ mode, the update itself was plagued by numerous bugs and problems that destroyed much of the optimism that surrounded the initial update. Concerns included the new Black Cell version of the Battle Pass. The average premium Battle Pass costs $10, while Black Cell costs $30. The new version includes 20 tier skips for the Battle Pass, 1,100 COD points, which is the equivalent to about $10, and numerous premium skins not on the standard Battle Pass. Despite this controversy, the Black Cell Pass became the third bestseller on Steam within 24 hours. To add to the controversy, an operator skin was released in the store that gives a permanent medium-sized backpack for the DMZ mode of the game to any operator that wears it, specifically the operator the skin is for. So, if you get wiped in game, you will always have a medium backpack even if you lose everything. Arguments arose around this edition on whether it was pay to win, or just acceptable as it just helps you carry stuff. But it's certainly a pay for a permanent advantage. 3 other packs were data mined, one which includes a permanent level 2 body armor, everyone else starts with a level 1, and another that has a kill streak UAV that allows you to see everyone on the map. The controversy around these pay-for-advantage skins is likely not going away anytime soon. Despite the critical and financial success of the Arkham trilogy, Rocksteady can't seem to catch a break with the Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. The game was due to release this May, which had already been a delay, but has now been pushed back to February 2nd, 2024. Although the game has received flack for the inclusion of a battle pass and a cosmetic store in a single-player co-op game, the reason for the delay, at least according to Jez Corden, may be for the game to remove the always online component, for which Redfall received a lot of flack this week. Here's to hoping this game doesn't become another eternal development hell story. Although never quite regaining the full cultural grab it had during the pandemic, Fall Guys has continued to receive steady support from its developers. According to Insider Gaming, Fall Guys will be receiving a new creative mode that will enable the community to design its own maps and creations. While it remains to be seen whether or not this will revitalize the game, it is certainly good to see more tools being given into the hands of the players. Everyone's favorite tentacle monster Hermaeus Mora is returning for this year's expansion to the Elder Scrolls Online. Releasing this June, the Necrom expansion features a new class, the Arcanist, and several new zones, which include the Telvanni Peninsula and the Realm of Apocrypha. Players were able to explore Apocrypha in the Dragonborn DLC in Skyrim, while the Telvanni Peninsula has not been seen since the Elder Scrolls Arena. The zones will feature familiar locations, with ZeniMax adding in some updates to bring it to the Second Age of Tamriel. Attendees of the Las Vegas reveal event were treated to gameplay and in-person interviews with the developers. Hands-on impressions of the Arcanist were incredibly positive, with many praising the sound design and feel of the new class. ZeniMax also teased some more details on the endless dungeon system coming this year that can be completed solo, or with a friend. Enemies will be randomized and pulled from across ESO zones and stories. You can go from fighting Lady Blaine from the Greymoor expansion to the dragons of elsewhere, or at least that seems to be what's implied. Either way, this year is looking stacked for the Elder Scrolls Online. Fans of Fallout 76 received an update on this summer's upcoming content, finally. No roadmap has been released for this year, but 2 new cryptids, unique bosses based on monster sightings from West Virginia, were announced. The Blue Devil, a werewolf-like creature, and the Ogwa, a giant mutated snapping turtle, both from West Virginian lore, will be coming to the game on top of the quests related to the Blue Ridge Caravan, a new faction that was introduced in Fallout 76. Early impressions have been positive in the community, with many excited that Bethesda is finally leaning more on the unique location of the game, instead of familiar factions like the Brotherhood of Steel, like the devs did for 2021's major update. Despite a lack of consistent, unique content, Fallout 76 has usually remained in the top 50 most played Xbox games on Game Pass. Here's to hoping this summer's update delivers. The Fun Pimps, developers of the early access game 7 Days to Die, showcased the Alpha 21 update coming to the game during a stream this week. Revamped animations and textures were shown, as well as new features coming to the update. Most surprising, though, was an update for consoles. When Telltale Publishing was shut down in 2018, they also shut down the console version of the game. The rights were then sold off and ended up in a complicated mess that prevented the devs from both updating their own game or releasing a new console version. 5 years later, the mess has finally been sorted, and 7 Days to Die will be returning to consoles. Gameplay from the PS5 version was shown off, and it looks exactly like our wonderfully clunky survival game. No definite time frame was given, but since Alpha 21 is the build being developed, we can probably expect it within a few months of the Alpha 21 PC release. XDefiant from Ubisoft started a closed beta this week, the first not to be under an NDA. XDefiant is an arena shooter featuring teams from across Ubisoft franchises, like Far Cry and The Division. The game is inspired by classic Call of Duty style gameplay. Although not as refined as a Call of Duty game, the developers have taken tons of community feedback into consideration as they have been developing the game. From what I played, everything feels really smooth compared to previous tests that I have heard of. Although some bugs with matchmaking existed, I really hope this game can be a success for the developers who have poured their heart and soul into this game, with community feedback helping to shape this experience. Call of Duty could really use the competition, no matter how small. Jedi Survivor, the sequel to the popular Jedi Fallen Order, is set to release in less than 2 weeks. The game had a final gameplay showcase during Star Wars Celebration. The developers seem to have taken every criticism of their last game and fixed it, adding in companions, dramatically improved customization, no more ponchos, and several new lightsaber forms. Star Wars Jedi Survivor releases on April 28th. Finally, we're ending with some positive news. Hogwarts Legacy has already been reported to have outsold Elden Ring from last year. But now we have learned that Hogwarts Legacy has sold more than 256% of what they expected to. Last we heard, over 12 million units were sold, and no doubt it has grown from that, and will grow even further when it launches on last-gen consoles this May. Hogwarts Legacy is a competitor for Game of the Year beyond any doubt. A huge congratulations are in order for the developers at Avalanche Software for such an incredible game. And that will do it for this week's gaming news roundup. Although we didn't hit everything from this week, I tried to focus on the highlights. Did I miss anything significant? Which news from today has you most excited? Let me know in the comments down below. Have a great week.